Hey guys, what is up? We are back. So, I got some bad news. I kind of made a huge mistake. So, remember how we wrapped Ben Hardy's TRX a couple weeks ago and I let him use my truck? Well, if you follow him, you know he blew the transmission in the brand new TRX, which is impressive. But, you can tell the transmission in my truck also went out right after he got done driving it. Now, I'm not saying it was him, but I've had this truck for a year now, haven't had issues, and now it don't work. So, I mean, did he blow my transmission? I don't know. Did he not? I don't know. Could go either way, but in this video, I'm going to show you guys rebuilding this transmission. We're doing a billet single clutch torque converter though. I was going to go with the triple clutch, but I honestly don't think I need it. You only need that like if you're going up over 600-700 horsepower on these things. And I don't think I'm going to get that nuts on this. And if I do decide to drop that kind of money into it, well, I mean, I'll just buy the converter that will handle it, right? But we did go with all heavy duty clutches, the red clutches for sure. Got the rebuild kit. And because these Dodge 48REs are super sensitive, super tricky, I just went ahead and bought a whole new valve body. I'm not going to deal with it. What I think is happening as of right now, something might have got up in the valve body causing it to stutter shift basically. It gets stuck between second and third, free spins a little. So, but first I need to pull this overdrive section off. We are going to be sending that, well, going to a shop that has a press for it. There is an 800-pound spring in that thing, and I want to make sure you need a special press and cup to compress it to get to the clutches on that. So I don't necessarily have that here myself, so we are going to take it off, go to a dealership and have it done real quick. Also, we're going to be putting a deep pan on this to help with cooling, keeping temperatures down. I mean, while we got it apart, might as well, right? And the goal is to make sure this is the only time I got to pull this transmission. Cool. Oh, it all comes off. And there you have it. So that is the overdrive section right here. There's a few clips and stuff in there. This is your park brake pretty much. Whenever that goes in, it actually locks down in here and locks the car in park. That's why you can't roll a car when it's in park and automatic like this. But yeah, so there you have that. See, I might do a little bit more. I got some paperwork to do real quick, but if not, I'm going to run that to the dealership, get the press done, get them to change clutches out in it real quick, and I will be back. All right, guys, we're back. So I haven't taken the overdrive section yet to the dealership to have them press that out. So these clutches were in that back well section right there. That's completely empty. And like I said, there's a little pry clip here that you kind of separate and that whole drum drops out. So one thing I want to point out, when I do these, I pull them off in exactly the order that they go back in. That way I make sure that it's 100% right. You can see I have the pump pulled, but yeah, so now I'm going to work on getting the valve body out and kind of put you guys right here to show you that whole process. So a bunch of these are basically T25 torques and 10 millimeters. Actually, we'll go with the 10 millimeter first, and then jump. So nothing's like crazy torque down on the valve body, by the way. So you don't need to crazy torque them down. It's just unnecessary. Oh, I was wrong. It's an 11. Everyone's wrong now and then, right? Me sometimes more than others, but so you really have quite a few bolts that hold this whole thing on. You'll notice as you go along. Kind of keep track of where they go. It's not super hard, like you got a bunch of different depths and you kind of can go from there as to which one goes back where. But yeah, so that should be close. We might have to pull a few of the Torxes as well, just to get them all. Oh, one thing, so over here there will be a little C-clip, and then the shift linkage. Let's go ahead and get that pulled as well. That one's probably a 13 on that. And then the clip. Like I said, it's super important. There's a crap ton of bolts here. So it really is important to make sure you put everything kind of organized. So you know exactly which way it goes back. Can't really stress that enough. So as far as skill level goes, this isn't for your, well, I guess a weekend mechanic could do it, but depending on your skill level, just be careful. I personally would probably trust a shop more than anything if I didn't know what I was doing, if I haven't done this a few times before. But that's just me personally. So you guys take it or leave it at that. Let's see. Okay, so that's done. That's done. That's going to be just fine. Okay. Cool. Now let's figure out which Torxes are still holding it on. Chances are it's these two. Yep, longer. Perfect. Now, your solenoid and everything should come off at this point. Oh, if I would have got all the bolts, missed one. Probably why everything's still bound up. There we go. Okay. Now this is also a big fail point on these Dodges. This thing freaking seems like it fails all the time. It's kind of frustrating, to be honest, because it literally does feel like it fails all the time. It's the governor pressure sensor stuff and shift solenoid. Let's see, there we go. Okay, be super gentle with it, pulling it out. You don't want to break anything. Okay, there we go. Here she comes. Boom. Just like that. So there is your valve body. One thing on this valve body, there's a well, I guess I can't say dumb, but there's a little spring right here and a ball, which the ball looks like it dropped in there. I'll have to find that when I clean the case out. But there's a little ball that goes on it that kind of goes into your shift thing there and basically holds you in gear. So, like I said, I have a whole new valve body. I didn't want to deal with tearing that apart and cleaning it. It is a huge hassle to do. It's a lot of work. But let's see. This thing has solenoids and stuff everywhere. I might flip it and just let it drain for a little while. Alright guys, we are back. So what you want to do to get this hub out is you need to basically back off the adjustment bolt here. And then once you break the lock nut free, it should be pretty dang simple to loosen it out. It's just breaking that one dang nut free, which apparently I did a pretty good job of setting it. Okay, we'll probably back that 90% of the way out. There's a little push band there, and that band will release. Then there's a little spade on this side. Be careful not to lose it. After that, that hub comes out, and there's your bands in there to replace. Oh yeah. So there's the culprit right there, the shift issues. You see, I mean, that thing's all the way down to the metal. No wonder why there was metal shavings and stuff in the trans. That's crazy how bad that is. But so it's really a good thing we're doing it. I kind of questioned whether it actually needed it a little, but obviously it does. Let's see here. So as you can tell, there's clutches and stuff in here. There's seals further in here that you'll want to get, and everything else. But hopefully the outer part of this hub isn't too scuffed up. The only thing that concerns me is the outer part of that drum is pretty well marked from that band. I'm hoping it's not an issue. It could be. Yeah, there's stuff all over the place in here. This thing got thrashed. Okay. There's a little clip in here that needs to come off. Snap ring pliers. Cool little clip right there. Set there. And then that center section comes out. You can see there's seals here and stuff. I don't typically pull these apart. You can, but there's that little seal right there that I change, and that's about it. And then I clean it up really well with some brake clean. That's about the gist of that one. And you have more pressure plates here, rust plates and stuff that go on there. Like I said, I really try to keep everything stacked to where I know which way it comes out, goes back in. You'll have a new one of these in that kit. You want to make sure you put it on. Should, keyword should. Not always, but should. And then come down to this band here. If I remember right. Bear with me, sorry. It's been a couple years since I've done this. A few years actually. A little more than a couple. So again, there's a plate in there. There's these gears that go into here. You don't really do too much with those. At least I don't. There's no real need to. And pull out this basket. I know some people don't, especially since, I mean, we're not changing this band, but I kind of want to change the seals on these, so maybe we will. And I might have hit my stopping point for the day because I don't have the right spread tool for this clip. We shall see if I can get it. If I can't, this is where I'll stop. And tomorrow we'll pick back up. Yep. So that's it for me for today on that. That's as far as I can go. I can do this drum, rebuild it real quick, which isn't a big deal. I do want to make sure I spray plenty of brake clean in here. Let's get all this stuff cleaned up. We'll probably be pressure washing this thing out as well. Just make sure it's super clean. These trannies are super finicky when it comes to any sort of dirt or anything, so you want to make sure they're spotless. And yeah, we'll see you back tomorrow. All right, guys, so sorry I didn't get everything on camera going back together and stuff. We pretty well have the truck back together. I can show you some of the old clutches here. If you look, they are just fried, especially, I mean, that's supposed to have clutch material on it. So the trans definitely needed to be rebuilt. The second gear shift band, I think I threw it away already. Yeah, but it was fried as well. So, I mean, obviously this thing had issues, but I mean, it's kind of bad to say, but I made a mistake. So on these valve bodies, I bought a whole new one because I wasn't exactly sure if it was a valve body issue, but there's shift linkage that goes right here that you're supposed to swap out. Well, my genius self forgot to swap this plunger as well. So that shift linkage actually grabs this plunger and that moves between different cylinders in here, which actually puts it into the different gears. Yeah, so that tranny now does not have a shift plunger. So yesterday I was beating my head against the wall wondering why the heck my tranny's not going into gear. Well, finally, as I gave up and was leaving, I realized it. So today we have drained the fluid into a clean bucket because, I mean, it was in there for 5 minutes, so I'm going to throw it back in. You guys know ATF plus 4 is not exactly cheap. We're going to drop the pan, pull the valve body. I'll film swapping those over to show you exactly what I mean. And then we'll put it back in and we'll give it a go. Alright guys, sorry. I ended up not pulling the valve body out of the truck. So what I was able to do, let me get a flashlight under here and show you guys. So right there's the plunger. I was able to get it in there without having to pull the valve body completely out of the truck, which is super nice and easy. But yeah, so now we'll put the trans pan back on, put the TVTT back on, plug everything back in and fill her with fluid again and give it a second go. All right guys, so it is finally finished. So there's a stupid little ball that sits here. I'll show you on this one. So it sits right in here and has that gear shifter. That's what actually holds it in gear. There's a little roll pin here that would have been easier if I would have pulled that and then put that gear shift in and ball and spring in that way, but I didn't. I did it the hard way. I'm trying to hold that ball in while getting that in. But yeah, so we got the plunger in, we got that in, everything's in. Seems to be working fine. No major issues. I'm about a quart low on fluid. I ran out with the extra deep pan I put on there. But yeah, she should be done. She is shifting through gears just fine. But on Friday, the spring broke on my garage door. So I gotta wait till Monday. And then we will take her for a test drive. But everything's looking good. Everything should be good. And I'm kind of excited to see how much power she actually pushes down, because it's slipped ever since I've owned it for the last year. I've just been good at babying it, making it last. But yeah, until next time, next video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tell your friends. Let's help get us up to 1,000, and we'll see you next time.